little bit late tonight, and well, I don't have anybody there yet anyway. But welcome to Bizarre Brain Comics live stream. And if you saw my post, you know it's about Tarzan toys. And if you happen to follow me for any length of time, either my live streams or my regular channel episodes. Mm, you know, I'm a big Tarzan fan. Now, I kind of had a rush here because ordinarily my wife would be at her bee club meeting right now, but for things got in the way and she couldn't, and they couldn't have the regular meeting, so she's still here, and I didn't have all the lead time that I normally have. Oh, hello, there's somebody there. Of course, it's family too important. Hi, hello, and so. uh, Now I forgot what I said. Oh yeah, so I was going to do it upstairs in the living room, but now I'm down in the basement, and I had to hustle and get everything down here because we were watching Star Trek Deep Space Nine. Yeah, Star Trek, Klingon and stuff. Klingon, Hovijak, and Kriga Korak Bundle. uh, uh, ape language and Klingon language, and someone else there too. Who? No one else is there. Say howdy. Uh, yes, poor bees. Yes, poor bees. Bees are all gone. So now it's Tarzan. You know, I'm a big Tarzan fan. I've done episodes on comic books and comic strips, and I got lots of comics. Probably got more comics than any uh, one character. Hmm. And I was introduced to Tarzan. I think I've mentioned this before. I was first introduced to Tarzan in the '60s TV series starring Ron Ely, and I heard and the adults saying stuff talk about Tarzan, the old Tarzan movies. They had the impression, like my mother and them had the impression that Tarzan the Ape Man with Johnny Weissmuller was the very first Tarzan movie. They didn't realize that the first Tarzan movie was nearly 20 years before, 1918, and there were several Tarzan, of course, and silent movies and stuff. But that's what introduced me to the Tarzan character, which led into getting some Tarzan comics a little bit later, which then jumped me off into the Tarzan novels, and which introduced me, of course, to Edgar Rice Burroughs, and he became my favorite author. And Tarzan is my favorite fictional character. Tarzan of the Apes, my favorite novel. Uh, so how are you doing today? I'm getting by. I'm okay. You're surprised. The days are just flying by. Yes, the older you get, the faster they fly, and when you're not working, because when you work, your days drag at work, and then your days off and nighttime just flies by. Well, here we don't have to be at work. Even though I'm trying to get a part-time job, I haven't had any luck on that, and so every day just flies by. So so wanted to thank you for being here, and so I was going to talk about Tarzan toys. A couple weeks ago or so, I did a short video, just featuring about 10 Tarzan toys. Well, I've got a lot more than that. I was going to start off by showing you this. Oh, come here. Oh my gosh. Oh, looky who we got here. Hi. Oh, she's big. Say hi, Kala. Yes, this is Kala. Plush. my, so I've had her for 25 years. This is Kala, Tarzan's mother from the uh, Disney version and so she's 25 years old. It was had a vinyl covering on her skin, like on her face and on the fleshy area of her chest, and all that stuff just peeled and disintegrated years ago. But she's so cuddly. Oh, and my wife got it for me for Christmas one year. And then, oh, just now this one isn't Tarzan related, but oh, a few years later she got me. Oh, this one. There's a big old silverback. So I just think of him as Bolgani. And if you're not familiar with the ape language in Tarzan, Bolgani means gorilla. And yeah, but he has nothing to do with Tarzan. Whoops. He stays in over here, and Kala keeps my bed warm. But then we also got, oh, see, it's not all the plushies either. Oh, Tantor. Look, this is big sucker. This is big sucker. Tantor the elephant. Of course, again from the Disney Tarzan. Whoops, knocked something over. And we got Sheeta, of course, in the Disney's Tarzan. It was called Sabor, but Sabor means lioness. Sheeta means leopard. But I think it came too close to sounding like shit. So they did it. Although they did use Sheeta for the Black Panther in the Disney's animated Tarzan, Legend of Tarzan videos, and I loved that show, the TV show, and I didn't get to watch it all that often, and I really wish, to my knowledge, it's never been released on DVD or anything, and I wish it would. The closest is when they edited several of the episodes together into a movie and released that on video. And then, of course, here's Juvenile Tarzan. Oh, but that's not all. Oh. And here is Kerchak. Of course, Kerchak was the leader of the tribe of apes that Tarzan grew up with, and he was in the Disney version. He was Tarzan's foster father. He was mean and gruff, but always thinking of the family. But of course, in the real Tarzan, I like to think of as the real Tarzan, Kerchak was the chief of the ape tribe. He hated Tarzan, and Tarzan killed him. But then that's not all. Oh, here we go. Turk, Tarzan's ape friend Turk. Now, Turk was actually based on a character. So I don't know if this still works or not. It's not old. Nope, it's not doing it. But Turk is loosely based on Turkaz, who was also an enemy, and Tarzan killed him. But this Turk is female. Aha! And when she's supposed to talk and stuff, the batteries are dead, so it's not doing it. Now, funny story is when my wife got this for me, she was driving home in her van from the store, and she didn't know it spoke, and she was driving. She kept hearing this giggling and laughing and whoop whoop and all these noises. She, where the hell is that coming from? And it startled her. She thought it was someone driving next to her, yelling at her, but it wasn't. It was just because you go do like this and it would make talking noises, but and all kinds of noises. But the battery's dead. So that's all the plushy ones. Now, but Disney's Tarzan is not all we got here. I've used some of them in my videos, my regular videos, and Hmm. We got this one here. Oh, how tall is this? What, 16 inches or so? Tarzan. This is Tarzan: The Epic Adventure from 1996. This was in conjunction with the live-action Tarzan: The Epic Adventures, and great plush. Four people. Let's get some other people interacting here. Okay. Now I'm down to two again. And Mason's got dead batteries too, but he just does the Tarzan yell. And it was still working when I one time when I used it in one of my videos. It was the figure Tarzan: The Epic Adventures, but it's modeled. It's not on the actor starring in the TV series, but it's roughly modeled on Tarzan as drawn by Russ Manning from the comic strip. But that's not all of them. Got another one here, and they come. I think I don't remember if that one came with armor or not. And this one, but I got this one, and I've got another one just like it out in the garage. I didn't realize I had three of this figure at all, and of course they made armor to make it kind of look cooler. And here on the back, it's got all kinds of the figures, toys, various kinds. And the thing was light sensitive. It have a sensor right here, and when the battery works, it would give the Tarzan yell. I didn't warm up my throat. Yodel, 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 yodel. Oh! Hey, not bad for not being warmed up. But then we're back to the Disney Tarzan. I got a lot of those. Oh, before I do that one, because this is also from Tarzan: The Epic Adventures. This gorilla here, they got chains, so break it off. But this is supposed to be Kerchak, also. Except he's make him bad looking. He's got a sensor. Ooh. Did you hear it? Can you hear that? I'm surprised it still works. And that's so Tarzan has somebody to fight. Now here is Disney's Tarzan. This figure. This is what would be 13 inches, maybe. It's hard to tell. Hey, which version of Tarzan do you all like out there? All kinds of actors. Johnny Weissmuller, Lex Barker, Gordon Scott, Elmo Lincoln. Elmo Lincoln was the very first actor to play Tarzan. Well, first adult actor. There was a kid in the movie. And Elmo Lincoln was a former firefighter. And unless it's an apocalyptic story, supposedly Elmo Lincoln actually killed the lion in making that movie. It had a real old, kind of temperamental lion. It was real old, kind of weak, and it was supposed to be using the lion for a fight scene. And the lion suddenly got frisky, and Elmo Lincoln was big and powerful, and this is a real old and weak lion, and he strangled it apparently. It may be apocalyptic. I don't know. War Scream. Not well. What was my favorite? Well, my favorite's probably always going to be Ron Ely, because that's what I was introduced to. But I really like Lex Barker. Not so much for the way that he fit the character so well, and Edgar Rice Burroughs liked him as well, because that's how he pretty much envisioned Tarzan. Too bad it had goofy writing. It wasn't until was it 58, 59 when they finally started allowing Tarzan to speak properly. They had, they had several, a few rather, uh, silent pictures. There was a was it a movie or was it a serial? I can't remember now. They called Tarzan the Tiger, which made no sense except it sounded good because they don't have tigers in Africa, but which was a loose adaptation of Tarzan and the Jewels of Opar, the fifth Tarzan novel. And there was another silent one, which was the son, they did, and that was a serial. Uh, the son of Tarzan, and the actor who played Korak, the son of Tarzan, was killed in that production. The very last scene they were shooting with him, which was the second to the last scene for the character in the whole serial, and it was killed by accident because it was a scene when he was tied to a post, and the elephant was supposed to come rush in and pull up the post and save him, and the elephant accidentally crushed the actor to death, and so that's why the very last scene we only saw Korak from behind when he after he'd been found by his father Tarzan and taken home, and when he was going to meet his mother again after several years, and so we just saw him from behind. Anything else? Well, oh yeah. So we got that Tarzan. Here's another Disney Tarzan. I've got a lot of these. I like this one. Let's see, does it push? Oh! I didn't realize he did that. What that button does. There's that. Huh. It's got other buttons on his back. Well, I think that's it. I think that was the last of his voice. And here's one it's kind of goofy. It has he was supposed to hold something here, but I don't know what it was. And this is the kind of goofy kind. So fat feet and big hands. It's kind of silly looking, but that's what it is. And let's see. I'm here. Never took this out of the box. A Jane figure, 12-inch Jane figure, with realistic hair and stuff. Very lovely. I like a picture here on the back of what the figure looks like outside the box. Comes with a little monkey baboon, her baboon friend, and her sketchbook. Even has a pencil in her hand. Mm-hmm. Considering how well my Tarzan Toys short video did, I would have expected to have more people. But we got more, still got more coming. I just got to wet my whistle a little bit. Oh, Nulla. There's another. Most of these are Disney figures, and this is one that just barely moves in his head. Whoops! It fell. Oh, that was the wedge I had in there at his waist because it stands off kilter. That is it has collapsed at the waist, so body scrunches up. It's mostly a figurine for just stand in one spot. Here is one I can't remember. I think my wife got this for me many years ago, and this is a from the early '70s, I think, Mego Tarzan figure, and he has long johns on to make the figure look more sleek, so you don't see all the joints and stuff. 8-inch Mego figure. I had one of the first things I ever was when I was a kid. I had not creepy crawlers, but there was another set like that where you, if you know what I'm talking about, you have this little a hot plate thing you plug in and it'd get hot, and you have these metal molds and come with this liquid plastic, and you put it in these molds and you'd cook it in this on this hot plate, and then you take the pieces and put them together, make all kinds of little monsters, or you get creepy crawlers, which is just spiders and snakes and bugs and stuff like that. But they had a Tarzan one that I didn't have, but someone I knew had one. They did just had that one plate. Someone had given him that mold. Had Ron Ely Tarzan, a little length of vine, and cheetah. And so we got together one time, and we used my plastic and my heater, and we made several of these figures. And but he couldn't use the thing because he didn't have the rest of the set. Didn't have and he didn't have the plastic, the goop, and but he would as much as I tried, he would not let me have that. But we'd make these little tiny rubber figures of stand there. I tried to put wire in it one time, but it's too small, and the wire was too thick. And, but that's why I was trying to put the wire in so he could pose him, make his limbs move and stay in place, but it didn't work. But I wish he had, even now, I wish he had let me have it. But yeah, never got into Tarzan, but have heard of it growing up. Well, I should think so. And here's another Tarzan little figurine. Actually, came in two pieces. We had to buy them separately, and then put them together. So it's Tarzan and Jane. And I think I have another one of the top Tarzan. I don't know where that is. And then here's another, just a little static figurine, which you can put the spear in his fist. And here's again is which I've shown on some of my Tarzan videos before. Tarzan figure for Tarzan the Epic Adventures. And actually, this one looks molded better. He pushed this thing on his chest, and with the battery worn out because these are ancient, and he would also but real small and tinny, and had other little figurines because the Epic Adventures was the only show that was actually inspired by the novels. So it had a lot of episodes that weren't direct adaptations of the novels, but were inspired by the novels, including the pilot, which was Tarzan the Epic Adventures. But it was a combination of the Return of Tarzan and Tarzan at the Earth's Core, which is kind of a silly combination. And they also combined, just like they did in the Disney animated Tarzan TV series, for Law the Vopar, Queen of Vopar, and both the Epic Adventures and in the Disney version they combined the Opar stuff with the Leopard Men. So and Law in the Law could turn into basically a were leopard, but in the show they used a cheetah instead of a leopard. Like they must have only had access to a cheetah, but most people probably couldn't tell the difference. But yeah, it was a cheetah, not a leopard. But speaking of leopard men, you have from the Tarzan and the Leopard Men book. You got that leopard figure, and you'd also have another little static, unposable Tarzan figure, again with cape and armor, and stuff. And but they also tied in, which they never did in the show, tied into John Carter of Mars, and they had I can't remember if they actually had I think they did have John Carter of Mars, and I think I've got that up there if I've got it. But they had one or two of the Mars figures of Martian critters, and he had they had Tarzan that had some Martian armor. Other times they have more jungle-looking armor, and yeah, like this. This is his more jungle-y attire. What the heck? Uh, well, I'm just going to have to shut that off then. I was having background, but it's going to record, and it was getting off the channel I had for the music. So that was that. That one. And here, I also had a lot of little, like Happy Meal. I don't know whether it was McDonald's or Burger King or what. I can't remember. But and I think this was like a Happy Meal type Tarzan. It had some other little figures too. Okay. And these are just the ones that I had in the house, except for the Jane. So I went out and I brought in some others. Ooh, here's another. Ha ha! Kerchak. Oh, why can't you just stand there, Kerchak? No, you gotta try and leap away. You know, it's a little plaything. And I think this was, I don't know where the heck I got this one. And this had, and this is part, you'd have different bases and you'd get different ones and they'd stick together like a puzzle and you could do all kinds of playful things with them. Like this has a gorilla and a snake on the tree and it would, there we go. Silly. Here's another Tarzan figure. They had a couple of these, and this had with them painted. This be the same figure, but with different body paint and accessories. Here it's got he's painted like the baboons. Tarzan, because that was so he could go on all fours. And then here's another one. He had some fake claws he put on here, and he was painted like a leopard. I don't know if you can see that or not. Probably not. On his chest. And this is another one of those little doodads, and it's covered. And the little puzzle pieces. And of course, this was Tantor. Tantor, the Ephalump. And yeah, here's another one of that Tarzan, piece Tarzan. And another one. Oh, just Tantor with his head sticking out of the water, and he's spraying water. Another little Tarzan figure posed. Oh, and this is another one that was from I think a Happy Meal type thing. Kala with juvenile Tarzan riding on her back. This is another one. This is cool. Kind of cool. And, his tail would line up his tail. Oh, cool. Now it's not going to work. There it goes. And he would shiver from fear. Because that's nothing like that Tantor is nothing like Tantor of the books. Of course, Tantor was not a proper name. Tantor meant elephant. And another little static figure of Turk. And I forgot to look. Has anyone stole one of toys? Yeah, oh, I don't know. I don't know. I don't have 30 minutes. And here is uh, young Tantor, like when Tarzan first met him. That's real cute. This reminds me of the this one reminds me of the young baby elephant from Disney's Jungle Book. Hathi. Of course, there was no baby elephant in the book, but it made sense. They had Hathi the elephant. Of course, they get the name in the Jungle Book. I love the Jungle Book by Rudyard Kipling almost as much as the Tarzan stuff. Then here, no, no one's stolen any toys that I know of anyway. Here's another, just a little tiny uh, juvenile Tarzan figure. A really big head. And see, how's this work? I don't know. Oh, here. Oh, it's been stuck open for so long. Here's is Baboon. One of the monkeys, Baboon, from the movie. Opens his mouth and the tail goes up. And then, oh, I think this was another from the Happy Meal type. Uh, Juvenile Tarzan riding on the back of a bird of some kind. And then one more of a different baboon. This is the mama baboon. And oh, geez, I think that's all the toys. And I was hoping it would have more people and more interaction because the that as I said, that short video did really well. Just showing just a few of the Tarzan toys. Here we're on whole bunches of Tarzan toys. I didn't realize I had this many, really. Man, that's a lot of toys. More than what I had. Yeah, when I was a kid, I had so few toys. So when as an adult, like so many of us do, you couldn't get a lot of the toys that you might have wanted when you were a kid. You can't get, and so, when you're an adult, you kind of go for a time and get a bunch of them, especially like something like Tarzan, and some various other toys. But then now toys are too damn expensive. Uh, Living in Neverland. Yeah, kind of like that. So, uh, and sometimes, as I said before, sometimes someone asks about like some of the pictures that I've drawn or something. And I wanted to show you this. I wanted to show it before, but couldn't find it. I found it. This is, see if you can see it, Disney Tarzan picture that I drew like what, 99, so it'd be 25, 26, yeah, 25 years ago. There's Tarzan, Kala, Turk, and Tantor in a kind of a scene that might have been there. And I did another one of, but I don't have it here, of in Disney Tarzan style of, but it's Tarzan fighting Kerchak like in the real book, but in the book, but doing it in the Disney stylization, and just a couple other things to show here. I didn't. Oh, this is from 1994. A watercolor portrait of Patrick Stewart as Captain Picard, and here is a self-portrait that I did. This is what 93 from 1993. And it's stylized as an experiment in technique, and that's all of those. But then I did some of these you may have seen if you watch my regular videos, but these are all some little drawings that I've done in recent weeks and months. This is I call him Steam Man. He's a steam powered robot. And here, woo, cherry pop tart, uh, kind of reminiscent of Archie style, but for naughty comics. Yes, I know it's backwards. And it did this one just a couple of nights ago. Had a classic Star Trek episode on. I thought, oh hey, that'll be good. I'll do Star Trek pictures. This is just an unidentified female crew member, officer. But she's packing heat. What she back in those days, almost I don't think you ever saw the women packing heat. Here's a, a caricature, Cora, Conan the Barbarian caricature. I did. And at Halloween, at Christmas time, I did a couple of little drawings. I was going to send them to a friend, and I posted them on Facebook on my Facebook page as Christmas cards. Woohoo! And yeah, she's a Christmas present. And I said the ghost of Christmas present, and what I should have gone for is the Christmas spirit because she's got booze. But I didn't think of that. I was thinking of unwrapping the present because I made her bottoms look like wrapping paper, and then this one of drunk Santa Claus, ho 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 hit ho, and with the little elf down here on the bottom saying, Santa likes his cocoa really Irish, so he's got his hot cocoa with a lot of booze in it, and I like that too. And here's a little self caricature of me and the cat. Not even our cat, but he spends all his time over here. And sweet little witch. I've used this a couple times in some of my videos as a backdrop. And ho ho ho. And then we'll finish up with this version of the devil, which has been in a few of my regular videos also. So that is everything. And it's been 38 minutes. That's quite enough time. And unfortunately, I didn't have very many people plugging in. But there's other stuff, real stuff going on in the world. This is very niche, and just something to get away from the madness going on in the real world right now. So, with that, I'll call it adieu. Kriga Tarzan Bungalow. The ape lingo. I tell you, when I was a kid, I had a book that had the Ape English Dictionary, and I studied and studied and studied that. And of course, it's not really complete language, but it's complete enough that if you know the language, you can convey a few ideas, which is all it's intended to do. And I don't remember most of it now, but I could speak it pretty well at the time. And so, as I usually do with Tarzan stuff, I will sign off with the Tarzan yell. And so, okay. Oh, Ongala. Okay. Bye. Thank you for joining me. And like, share, subscribe. I'm not going to do it now. I was going to plug my books and I forgot to. But so check out my books on YouTube. I'm not on YouTube. On Amazon, and $7.99 each. And thank you for joining me. And remember, comics are art.